Hello there YouTube, Classic Reviewer here with a new kind of video today. Today I'll be talking about one of my all-time favorite TV series that I grew up with as a kid. It's it first aired in 2007, so just just over 12 years ago now. And before I get into the video, I hope you guys having a good day. Where you guys are, hope you guys are having a good week, and just hope you guys are doing well. So today's video will be on the British TV show known as Primeval, which is it's a drama based off like prehistoric monsters like dinosaurs, and other creatures such as the infamous Gorgonoxid and other things. So it's basically a show that's set in the present day, as you can see. People here, it's not well, you could say it's an alternate reality thing, but at the same time, it's still set in like present day reality sort of thing. Like same Earth, same people, just stuff happens basically. The show starts off with this lady called Helen Cutter, who is the wife of the main guy I'll get to in a sec. She discovers some like time portal, basically called anomalies. So the thing, anomalies in the fabric of reality. And she gets chased down by a Gorgonoxid, which I will show you again, which is this beauty here. Which is a creature that existed just before the dinosaurs did in the Permian era, I'm pretty sure, which is about, which I'm pretty sure ended about 200 million years ago, if I can recall that correctly. So basically, like, she gets chased down and, basically what ends up happening is she gets sent through this time portal anomalies, and basically, each anomaly goes to its own different, era in time. It does, so she ends up going to, the past, future events, possible futures, possible presents, and like all these different places in history, basically. Oh yes, and she is a scientist and archaeologist. Okay, no. She's a scientist anyway. She studies obviously prehistoric creatures and other things as well. So there's a husband, but basically, anyway, let me go on to the main guy of the show. Played by Scottish actor Douglas Henshall, right here. Nick Cutter, who's Helen's husband. Basically, he's a professor at a university and who's still grieving over the sudden disappearance of his wife, because he wasn't aware of these anomalies or whatever. He just knew one night that she never came home, was presumed dead, was never found. He's 7 years on, he's still grieving about her loss. Basically, though him and his assistant Stephen, who's this character here, and Connor Temple, this guy, who is a student at the university that Professor Cotter teaches at. Basically, they come across like a fish that apparently hasn't existed for millions of years. Well, they don't come across a fish. They come across a news article about a fish that hasn't existed for millions of years until one just randomly appeared in a nearby river or something. No, nearby lake. Can't remember which one. And they get this news report of a random, of like a weird, like an escaped animal, giant escaped animal report. And Nick is still wonders what happens to his wife, and so he still follows any potential leads. Because obviously on the night that she disappeared, it was reported there was a giant animal in the area, and so like he's just curious, wants to check things out. Along the way, he meets up with a lady called Claudia Brown. Show you this lovely lady here. She's really well played throughout the series, and yeah, basically the point of the show, it's a continuing storyline of Nick trying to find Helen. He does eventually find her, and when he does, he wants to know like why she never returned, if she could potentially, like, even though she could potentially do that, because she knew more about the anomalies at this point. And she did go back to see him, not like to meet him in person, but to kind of, I don't know, in a weird way, to study how humans and how he had, how he behaved without her, sort of thing. Like, as the show progresses, she becomes more and more less human in a way. Like, she just becomes more of, a scientist studying a lab rat, not really caring about what happens to the course of humanity in that. And she just, yeah. Before I confuse you guys anymore, I'm just gonna stop that point there and highly recommend you go and buy the first season of the show. It's really well made. It's a drama type show, so there is there is a lot of like backwards and forwards arguing and cliches like that. But besides all that, yes, it is kind of similar to a cop detective show, but at the end of the day, it's really entertaining, and I just highly recommend you guys go watch the first season at least. The first season only has 6 episodes in it. It's not too long, and it's just really well made storyline. So basically, again, so basically Nick goes to check this attack out, and before too long, he and his team, which has also been joined by this lovely lady, here, Abby Maitland, who's played by actress Hannah Spirit, and yeah, she's really well done. And this little charmer up here is a flying dragon. No, not a flying dragon. It's a ancient lizard that also featured in the Permian era, nicknamed Rex by Abby Connor here. And yeah, he's quite he's quite funny. He's generally used as like comic relief effect. He as a character he doesn't play much to the overall story. He just you know he's just there to make things a little bit funny or a little bit goofy or whatever. And basically, yeah, these guys, the team comes across the anomalies, which is basically the area is cordoned off from the public because Claudia Brown, she works for the government and the government wants to keep things hush hush until they know more about it. This is when, of course, they've discovered that it's a time portal for a better term, and Nick and one of Claudia's security guys, I forget his name, go through the anomaly and basically find this camp and a human skeleton that basically makes Nick worry that it's Helen, but then it's proven it's not Helen. And yeah, if you keep watching the show, you'll find out who who set the camp up and why it's there. Basically, they come across this trash campsite and a skeleton, showing that people had been through the anomalies before. They knew about them, and you know that sort of thing. So they end up going back, but they have a final showdown with the Gorgonopsid, which they've been tracking the whole time. And Gorgonopsid is basically like a 10-foot pure killing machine, like like a lion or a tiger on steroids, basically, in terms of pure killing power. And realistically, in combat, it would be very, very hard to take down. You would have to use high caliber weaponry in order to even slow it down. And you wouldn't want to come across one of these guys in person. Anyways, I'm gonna leave this video here. My review of Primeval. It's one of my all-time favorite TV shows. I would easily give it 9 out of 10. I would, especially for the first season, because it's just really well written and you've got to watch every episode carefully in order to appreciate how amazingly well it was written and how well it was made. So yeah, if you guys are big dinosaur fans or prehistory fans or just anything like that, like archaeology, paleontology or anything like that, or even if you're not interested, I still highly recommend you at least check out the first season. And yeah, just hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, feel free to like, comment down below any thoughts if you have watched it, who your favorite character was, favorite moment from the season, and if you especially enjoyed this video or any of my other videos, feel free to subscribe down below. It really helps the small community out, and I just really appreciate any support that I'm given. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.